It's thinking about it.
It's trying. Takes a second.
There we go.
That usually does it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you live on Walton? No. You don't look live.
It's
there?
thinking still, but there we go.
Showing us a bunch of people. So it's live somewhere.
On YouTube.
Yep, we're good.
You're good on YouTube? Okay.
We're on.
Hey guys, welcome to our live stream. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go ahead and do something that was suggested to us in, I think it was a YouTube comment or something, that you wanted to see the winner drawn live on a live stream. So we decided we'd go ahead and give that a shot. It's the first one of these that we've done. We've done a couple live streams before, but we haven't done one in a while. We've been fairly busy here, and some of our earlier live streams were turning into marathon sessions, and we just didn't have the time for that. So what we're planning on doing today is obviously drawing the winner. We're going to announce the giveaway and sales for the upcoming month. We're going to announce just a couple other little things that we got going on here, and then hopefully we're going to answer some meat processing questions from you guys or product questions and just have a good time. I'm still not seeing anything over here, so.
I'm up on my side.
Okay, so we're good. Are you seeing chats anywhere?
Yeah.
Mine aren't coming through. Okay. Then I'll just watch on waltonsinc.com/live.
Make sure you pull up. Sorry for the little bit of technical difficulties, guys, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
So Tony's pretty confident that he's going to be winning this.
Do we tell people how many entries we have?
Sure. Sure, go ahead.
I got to look that up. I guess I don't know off the top of my head. I should have come prepared, but I did not.
I do know this was, out of all the giveaways we've had, last month was by far the most we've had, almost double. And then this would have been the second most popular one that we had. So.
Yeah, January had a lot of users.
Yes.
A lot of users. This last month's February, we got quite a few. Our total number of entries, not to crush anyone's hopes, but there's 98,634. So
that's a lot.
Hopefully you guys entered a lot of times because
you're gonna need it.
Yeah, you'll need it to win.
There.
But the good news is a lot of people get a ton of entries because you can come back every day and enter. Plus, there's multiple ways to enter. So, not as bad as it sounds, but I think people got real excited about giving away a grinder. I think that's a little more popular item.
It is
a little more flashy.
Yep. I really like the giveaway that we've selected today, or for this upcoming month. We've done something like it before, and it was one of our more popular ones. I mean, it's something that anyone who wins it's going to be able to use, and it'll upgrade something. I highly doubt any one of our viewers have something as good across all the ones that we included. It'd be really unlikely. So, before we start, Ralph Hartman, what is a yam spring? I've never heard this term before, and I'm really curious. He says cabin fever is setting in. I can't answer that, Randy. Can't. Legally, I'm not allowed to say anything. I just drank what I was handed. I don't know what's in here.
It might be poison.
You've been wanting to get rid of me.
I've been getting a lot of negative comments about John lately doing the videos, so we're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah. What can you do?
How many people do we have on right now?
It would be great if it was somebody on here who won. I mean, it's unlikely with the number of people that we had join, but
yeah, there we go.
It'd be really neat.
Yeah, just making sure we're getting quite a few people on here. We're wait just a minute or two to announce things as people kind of filter in and join us. But we've got a lot so far, about 200 people on already. free shipping for all
Yeah,
watchers for at least 2 orders.
Yeah.
We don't have any plans to do anything like that today, but for the next live stream, we definitely can do something like that. We did some of that on demand, creating of promotions on one of our past live streams. So on our next one, we'll make sure we do something like that again, and we'll announce special promotions. We'll do a free shipping one. I have no problem with that. During the next live stream, that way only the people that are there and participate in it can get in on it, but we can definitely do that for you guys, but probably just not today. We don't have anything set up yet.
But if anyone, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to if somebody had a really good idea of something they wanted to add to a sale, we could, if it was reasonable.
Yeah, I guess technically did our sales actually start today for March?
No, they'll start. I have them set up to start tomorrow.
Start tomorrow.
But I was thinking while we're doing this, I'd just go ahead and flip them live.
Okay. Yeah, and we could always add something else to March's sales here.
So, all right. 405. You want to do it?
Yeah, sounds good.
Go. We're going to draw a winner. Just that, right?
Yep. Takes a long time for the computer.
Yeah, we're
to
not
think.
trying to build the drama here. That's it.
There we go.
Okay. The winner is Scott McCarthy. His winning action was a YouTube watch. I don't know if that was the only one he had, but he definitely had a couple actions. So congratulations, Scott McCarthy. And we'll go ahead and send you an email. Just get all your details, get that shipped out to you. And
we should, and I'll have to check and see if we can do this, if it would be okay in our terms and conditions on stuff. But next time we draw, if we do it live, we should see if we could add like a bonus on there. If someone's watching and they claim it during the live chat, they get an extra something. I don't know. We'll come up with some sort of deal to add into it.
Yeah, that could work.
But if Scott is on here, make sure you say something, Scott.
Congratulations, that's awesome. Sorry to everyone who didn't win, but we do have a great live or giveaway coming up for this month. So to get right to that, we are doing a full set of Victorinox processing and cooking knives. Victorinox makes some of the best knives in the business. We sell a ton of these. I mean, these are the type of knives that you're going to see in a commercial meat processor's place, cutting rooms. We've got a couple of great ones. We've got a large 8-inch chef's knife. I mean, you can do anything with this, slice, chop, dice. It's awesome. Then in case you wanted a little bit of extra cutting power, we're including a 7.5-inch Wavy edge chef's knife. It's also great for slicing bread, anything like that. I've got the 8-inch Granton Edge butcher knife.
Why is that one in here, John?
Because I love it. It just looks great. I mean, how much fun can you have with a knife? Part of a knife should be, how scared is someone going to be if you come running at them with it? And that's really high with this knife. I mean, that is a frightening looking thing. And these Granton edges on it are going to help prevent anything from sticking to it, meat, vegetables, anything like that. Then we've got a braking knife, 8-inch braking knife. Again, really high, cool level to it. It's like a scimitar.
I'm surprised you didn't get like a 16-inch knife.
It wouldn't fit in here.
Okay.
I tried to do everything the largest we could. But so this capuche block, I'll get to that. Then we've also got a carving knife, 8-inch straight carving knife. We've got a this is the 8-inch super flexible fillet knife. I mean, if you look at this, that is ridiculously flexible. So that's great for boning out pork butts, anything like that. And then a 6.5-inch semi-stiff curved boning knife. This is what I end up using most of the time. This is the knife that I use more than anything else when I'm deboning, cutting anything up. It's super convenient. Even though it's not 8 inches, which is the max this could take, I decided to include it just because we really like it. So then this capuche is a knife holding block with these things called freedom rods. So you can go ahead and set up your knives any way you want. I mean, there's no end to the list of ways you can do it. We're also including some knife safes. So these are actually what we're going to use to ship these for you, so that when you get them, they're going to be in these knife safes, or most of them. Some of them will be in clamshells. But these are also great for if you got little kids in the house and you're worried about your knives, to put them in this. They won't be able to figure out how to get out of them, and they'll keep your little kids' hands safe. We're also including a set of 4 of these Victorinox Wavy steak knives, just really good steak knife. And so you can keep everything really nice and sharp, we're including a Chef's Choice 120 sharpener. So it's a really nice sharpener. So 3 stages. So it'll take everything from a pretty dull knife and make it really nice and sharp to, if you just need a touch up, you can just do that in just a couple of seconds. So we're also including a Walton's hat as usual. We're going to include a couple of our favorite seasoning shakers. So total value on that will be over $540. I think we have it live. It's live. So you can go over to waltonsinc.com/win as soon as this is over, and just you'll be all good. Start getting entries for it and maybe win next month. And then we're going to include a couple of Meatgistics stickers. Probably just stick those in there for whoever. Is that not going to work? That's probably not going to work. The freedom rods aren't allowing me my freedom. But yeah, that's it for this next month's giveaway. For sales, you can watch. We still did a regular video, even though we're doing this live stream. We still did a full video so that we could list everything that was on sale and what the amounts off were. Just real quick, a couple of good ones where we did some jerky stuff. So I put the dill pickle and jerky seasoning on sale for $9.99. That's enough to season 25 pounds of meat. And for anyone who likes dill, even just like a little bit, even if you just kind of like pickles, I really recommend that stuff. I know, I say it all the time, I know that sounds weird, but the dill pickle jerky is amazing. We also put the Weston 3-tier jerky rack on sale, the Weston jerky gun, and there was something else for jerky.
The Weston 4-tray dehydrator.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I put the orange heat-resistant gloves on sale. A couple other things for grilling. And then for anyone who's looking for vac packs, we put both the 3 packs of the 11 by 18 and the 8 by 22 feet vacuum bag rolls on sale. So, I mean, that's a really good deal. We made them just $11.49. So.
And maybe something bonus if anybody has any other
maybe,
suggestions.
Yeah, if somebody has something really good.
We'll see what else we can add to the sale.
That we can do.
Yeah, not like everything I want for free, but
beyond that, also we ran into a thing recently where somebody was comparing our prices to somebody else, and it was a MAP pricing.
Yeah.
So I mean,
sometimes we are restricted by the manufacturer and what they allow, but. If there's anything you guys want to see us add, just leave us a comment. We'll try to look through comments as we're going through the live stream, and then we'll also review them later tomorrow as we're finishing up sales. And we'll add something else on there for you guys.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and flip those sales live now. Okay. So I haven't had a chance to follow along. I assume Matt wasn't on. If he was, we would have heard like a comment or something. The winner.
Wait, wasn't it Scott?
Was it Scott?
I don't remember.
Hold
now.
on.
I thought it was
I
Scott.
got it right here. Yeah, Scott. Sorry, Scott McCarthy.
It's a good thing we're actually not in charge of drawing the winner. We use a third-party service to run the giveaway and select them, because otherwise we may have a problem if we did it ourselves.
No, I'm sure we'd have a problem. All right.
So past that, if you guys have any questions, anything, if anybody's having problems with meat processing, any questions about a product, or you're wanting to try something new, leave us a comment in the chat, and we'll try to look through all the chats here and answer any questions anybody has.
So you're saying I should be paying attention to that, not doing this?
Oh, I don't care. I'm looking through stuff right now.
You got it.
Brian Schneider, what do you guys think about the Weston 44-pound meat mixer? If it wasn't for the fact that the icon or the little user image for Brian Schneider does not look like the Brian Schneider we know.
You would think it's him?
Yeah, we actually used to have a Brian Schneider that works for us. He was one of our commercial salesmen, sold to a couple different states for long time. He finally retired. Finally retired. That sounds bad. No, he retired like a year and a half ago.
About that.
Something like that, yeah. But Weston 44-pound meat mixer, great little mixer, really inexpensive for what it is. There's some meat mixers out there that cost a whole lot more. It works well. The super cool thing about the Weston 44-pound one is that it'll also hook up to all the Weston Pro Series grinders and some of the Butcher Series grinders to do powered mixing, which if you're doing just one batch, it's not too big of a deal to hand crank the mixer. But if you start doing multiple batches at a time, or if you're making sausage every weekend with your buddies, it gets real old hand cranking. So hooking it up to a grinder, I mean, it's amazing.
Or if you're doing it in front of a bunch of lights all by yourself, yeah, it gets pretty hot pretty quick and you start sweating.
And Brian, I guess, are you asking what we think about it, or were you asking if that was an item we could put on sale, since we were asking about sale items? Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you were thinking there. I shouldn't have said anything, because now he's just going to say, yeah, put it on sale.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
I mean, there was tons of comments in there about the knives being great knives. The knives in the giveaway for this month really are like some of the best knives you can get. These are the knives that all the commercial processors are using. So whether you're a commercial guy, they're going to fit in right with what you're doing. If you're somebody at home that's doing their own processing, or just making food in your kitchen for dinner, they are going to be some fantastic knives.
Yeah, if whoever wins this is just going to leave them in their kitchen and never process with them, you're going to have amazing tools at your disposal. If you're someone who's going to use them mostly for process, I mean, either way, you're going to love them. They are absolutely great.
Is it better to season pork butts with it or without mustard? Also, is it better to season and let it sit overnight, or go straight to the smoker?
I think we're going to disagree on this.
Potentially.
I have a feeling.
I kind of could say it could go either way. I like using the mustard, but just because I like to over-season everything, and I cake as much seasoning on as I can, and the mustard is what I use to hold the seasoning onto the meat better, so I can just put more seasoning on it. So I do mustard. If you don't need to cake that much seasoning on it, I don't think you need the mustard. It doesn't play enough of a role. It doesn't provide any taste that, unless you want to just cake more seasoning on, I wouldn't use mustard. But I do, just from the aspect of I put that much seasoning on it. And then holding overnight or going straight to the smoker. On pork butts, I usually go straight to the smoker. I don't sit overnight. I do know some guys that do, and they swear by it. One of the guys actually from Excalibur that we had down here for doing some videos a while back, John Brewer, he says hold it overnight. That's what he does. So it's, I don't know if it really makes a huge difference or not. I haven't tested with it enough times back and forth. Maybe you have some more insight there. I'd go either way on it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt anything.
In general, I don't think it's necessary. If you're competition, that's maybe a little bit different story, because what you're trying to do there is encapsulate so much taste into one bite that you do need to put a ridiculous amount of seasoning on. But there's a difference between grilling for your friends and grilling for competition. I mean, you're looking for different things. I don't want a piece of meat that heavily seasoned for eating, for just, you know, to eat a lot of it. The competition, you have one bite and it's supposed to be incredibly flavorful. I'm not saying that, you know, your home barbecue shouldn't be, but you don't need it as much seasoning on that. So for home barbecuers, no, I don't see any reason to put that on.
What's the best smoked sausage seasoning that we have?
Oh,
That's a very broad category. You can get all kinds of crazy things, whether it's Lebanon bologna, cheeseburger cheddar wurst, Cajun sausage, Polish, German, ring bologna. Our best-selling one is probably German sausage. The German sausage is a fairly mild one, though. Even though it is probably one of our more popular ones, I wouldn't choose this one of my favorites just because I like more flavor to things. But it is extremely popular out there. People love that one. If I had to choose one, I might have to go with chili dog. The chili dog is different.
It's definitely a good one. I'd put cheeseburger cheddar wurst. If you put some high temp cheddar cheese in with that, it's awesome. If you do straight pork, it is great.
When are we getting in more hats? That's a good question. It depends on how many we have left in stock. Let me pull that up real quick. I do know on that topic, we've had people asking about t-shirts. We started running out of some of the sizes on our Meatgistics t-shirts. So we do need to get more of those in. We have not ordered any yet, but we will. On the hats, we're fairly low. We've only got a few dozen of them left, so yeah, we'll probably be reordering hats within the next probably month or two.
Sorry, and you've got one less of the gray than it shows there. I haven't done an inventory thing, but I grabbed another one just because it's getting all beat up.
Okay. So yeah, expect within maybe the next few months here, we'll have both new hats and new shirts coming in. We will definitely get some more fun stuff there. I don't know if we'll get the same ones or not.
For what, hats?
Yeah, both.
No, I'd say let's do shirts. I mean, I like these shirts. This is literally what I wear every single day to work. It's awesome. Whatever kids think that having a uniform is bad, they're dead wrong.
Uniforms are nice because you never have to figure out what to put on. You just know.
To figure out anything.
Chips or pellets? Where'd it go?
Depends on what you're doing it, I would say. I'll take, and I know I'll get flack over this, but I'll take a pellet grill, like something like a combo, like a Green Mountain or a Traeger, over something I've got to create the fire for, you know, like the old Weber kettle grill or something like that. So for that, I'd definitely take pellets. For everything else, it's really close. I know I've heard some people say like you only get 75% of the smoke with pellets versus wood chips. I don't know that I agree with that. That's what some people say, though.
I'd agree with you, and I'd stick with pellets whenever you can. Big John, how much quieter is the Weston number 8 black over the Weston regular number 8?
What's the regular number 8?
The white one.
Oh, much.
So it's insane.
It's one of the best.
Those black ones, Weston purposely designed those to be more of a family, kind of like the Pro Series and Butcher Series. The smaller ones they had before, they didn't really match each other. They spent a lot of time and effort in the number 5 and number 8 black ones to really enhance them. And one of the things that they did a killer job on is the sound. It's only like $10 difference to get the black ones. There's no doubt in my mind I would not hesitate every day of the week to drop the extra $10 on the black version. It's a huge difference on the sound, and the performance of them I think is just all around hands down better. Yeah,
and that was one of the first things we noticed when we started it up, is how much quieter it was, because we had just run the other one for something, and yeah, it's significant. All right, I'm almost done here, so the last product, and then all the sales will be live on waltonsinc.com/sales if you want to see what's on sale. All the items from last month will still be on there, but everything on sale is up there, so we're good.
Can we come up with a hotter snack stick mix
than
what we have?
why would you?
I feel like some of our snack stick stuff is fairly hot, but if you really want to get hotter,
Yeah.
I would just find a flavor that you like that we have already and just add red pepper to it. Add as much red pepper as you can stand. That's the easiest way to make something super hot.
So I was doing that, sorry. I didn't see who asked that question, but whoever did, my first question to you would be, have you tried Gigawatt? So if you've tried Gigawatt, then the next thing I'd say is try Gigawatt with ghost pepper cheese. Before I went adding any other extra red pepper, I would try those two things. I just made a batch of, Gigawatt hot, so it's jerky. I think it says jerky or snack stick.
Yeah, jerky or snack stick.
Jerky or snack stick seasoning, and then I added ghost pepper cheese to it. I mean, if you want it hotter than that, you're a sadist. I mean, I like heat, but getting it much hotter than that's not going to be all that much fun to eat. But yeah, no, if you do want something that's just like offensively hot and it's going to burn people's mouth, which I get, I find it funny to give it to somebody who wasn't expecting it. But yeah, I'd add just red pepper flakes to it.
Joe Hell.
Hey, Joe.
Joe is one of our regular Meatgistics users. So for those of you here watching the live stream that don't know what Meatgistics is or are not that familiar with it, when we're done with the live stream, head on over to meatgistics.com, or if you're at waltonsinc.com, there's a link at the top of every page that says Meatgistics Community. That is our community site,
Yep.
Our learning center, our blog. It's more of the informational side to Walton's, where we still sell you guys a little bit on stuff. We include links to products and stuff, but instead of just listing descriptions and specs, I mean, we tell you how to make product, how to use different equipment, how to do it all and make the best product you can. Head on over to Meatgistics and check that out over there.
Oh.
But Joe is asking about cold phosphates. He says, I was planning on adding cold phosphate to a homemade injectable brine for pork shoulder this weekend. Should this hit the smoker immediately or can it be held overnight? There shouldn't be any issue on holding phosphates overnight. There's nothing there at all. You can go straight to the smoker. You can hold it. No matter what you do, Joe, it'll be fine.
And what product was that on that he was using the phosphates?
He just said a homemade injectable brine.
Okay.
It would be better if he was using an Excalibur injectable brine, but you know, I have to give you a little bit of grief, Joe.
The Arrowhead 18 said Gigawatt is like cherry candy to me. So I don't know if he means like cherry. Here it is. How long will the season? Okay. So season will last, if unopened, you should get about 2 years out of it. Once you open it, you can reseal it and get it somewhere near there, but I mean, you're going to notice a difference. A couple of months ago here, I did a taste, or no, I was actually doing a binder experiment. So I did 5 different batches, and I had a bag of seasoning in here that had been opened previously, resealed, and I used it, but I ran out and had to get a new bag. On the one I got the new bag on, or the one I seasoned with the new bag, there was a clear taste difference. Everybody noted it. So, I mean, you can extend it a little bit, but once you've opened that, I mean, the clock is ticking. You definitely don't want to go beyond 2 years. Yeah, and another thing, specifically Joe has a couple good ones on Meatgistics. People have been posting their recipes, things they've made, using either the bragging board or the meat processing thing. It's been a lot of fun seeing other people, like how they make it, and definitely some amazing photographs in there. So if you're looking for something good to try, take a run through the bragging board or the meat processing. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Will there be a time when you sell cellulose casings larger than 26 millimeters? I mean, that's no, you're not missing anything, the past pawn. We don't have, there's still not a lot of call for cellulose casings at this point. We chose the 26 millimeters because that's what most people are going to choose when they're making a hot dog, and that's by far the most popular thing that it'd be used for, just like a skinless hot dog. We get those in, I mean, very, very large cases. So to break even one out into smaller runs, I mean, that's a big ask. We haven't had a ton of call for it, like a little bit here and there. but not enough to make it anywhere near worth it for us to break up an entire case of that. So for right now, those products are still just aimed at commercial processors.
Jimmy Carter's saying mix hot Italian and hot wing marinade and use it as a snack stick and add the hot cheese for more heat. That is an interesting mix.
Has he done it? Have you done that?
Yeah, Jimmy, are you just coming up with a suggestion, or have you actually tried it? Because that sounds crazy.
Yeah, and I'd caution you a little bit there, because we got General Tso's marinade in recently, or not recently, 6 months ago or something, I don't know. So I made up some chicken with that, and it was delicious. I wanted to see how it was on snack sticks, and some Meatgistics user wanted to try it as well. So I went ahead and did it, figured out the salt content was close enough to it being okay, and it was good. It was way better on just regular chicken, though. I mean, when it's not designed for something, you definitely can use it for other purposes. Like if you're wanting to make a snack stick out of a summer sausage seasoning, that's almost never a problem. In fact, that's never a problem. Even generally, if you're wanting to make a snack stick out of a bratwurst, that's generally fine. You just have to add cure. But when you're crossing something from a marinade to a sausage, you got to expect at least some, I don't know what you're going to say, degradation of the taste. It's not going to be the same. So we're still bouncing? Okay.
We're going to disagree on this one, guaranteed. 18 Arrowhead is asking, or saying that he thinks he's going to try gigawatt with ghost pepper cheese and see if that'll help. So how many pounds of cheese should go in a 25-pound batch? If you got 25 pounds of meat, you should probably have 25 pounds of cheese to go with it.
No.
The normal
he doesn't mean that.
Yeah, normal usage is 10%, so that'd be 2.5 pounds. I always go heavy on cheese. I would end up using 3, maybe 4 pounds. You ask John, and he's probably going to use the underside, the 2 pounds. So it kind of comes down to personal preference. The 10% of your meat block is a good average to start with. And then if you think you want more, add an extra pound, or you just don't want that much cheese, take out a pound. But start off with that 10%.
That's a good, for almost any cheese, I'd always say 1 pound to 10 is good enough. If it's not exactly where you want. With the ghost pepper cheese, I'd be a little bit more careful. I mean, like if you've tried the hot pepper cheese, it's not hot. It's like pepper jack. It's got like a tiny little bit of spice to it. This ghost pepper cheese, if you just eat a handful of it, which I've done, you are going to sweat. So that you might want to be a little bit more careful with. But no, my general rule of thumb, or however I would do it, I'd usually use about 2 pounds per 25 pounds. I like the meat to stand out and the cheese to be like an accent. So Austin just wants more taste of everything. So more salt, more shaker, more anything is what he wants on it.
Life is better with more of everything.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so Jimmy Carter's actually done that.
Interesting.
That was the hot Italian and the hot wing marinade to make snack sticks. Very interesting.
You laughed at
Yeah, I read
one?
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Ooh, I made 100 pounds of gigawatt and ghost pepper cheese snack sticks for customers in the winter, and everyone loves them. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It's the gigawatt's got a great taste, but is a ton of heat, and that ghost pepper again. I mean, those are two good tasting, because you can have heat just to be obnoxious, you know. And there's some things that are just hot just to be hot. Like, what was that? The Dead. We had that sauce.
Oh, the zombie repellent?
Zombie repellent.
Yeah, we still have that.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to put it on some chicken, and it was obnoxious. And it was like, that hurts to eat. I'm not going to eat that. But no, the gigawatt and the ghost pepper both are right at that level where it still tastes good, but you sweat profusely.
Maybe we should try making some zombie sausage, because I forget who was asking the question earlier about making something extra hot. Maybe we should make sausage with a bottle of the zombie repellent hot sauce in it.
Okay.
It'd be interesting. You might be able to mix it out enough in a larger batch of meat that you would actually get flavor instead of just overwhelming heat. And then everyone, it's not as big of a fad anymore, the whole zombie fad. but that's still been a thing. People like to zombie label to things.
That'd be interesting.
Zombie snack
I'd want to do
sticks.
that. Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Does it barbecue zombie edition? I like it.
That's good. All right. I think we might have missed a question because Ken was trying to answer Jim. Jim showed when the tail. And yeah, Mark, everything goes good with beer, so. Let's see. 1 pound of cheese to 12 pounds of pork. Yeah, that's another thing. So with cheese, you might also want to consider what type of meat you're using. Pork has such a nice creamy fat that it's going to help the seasoning, whatever else you put in the meat, coat your mouth better. So you might actually need a little bit less than you would if you're doing something like beef, which has a different quality of fat to it. So, I mean, that's actually a really good point. Okay. So Joe was also saying, I don't even remember who was asking about the number 8 black versus the number 8 regular, but Joe was saying that he's got the number 8. He doesn't find it too loud compared to a KitchenAid. That sounds like a screaming banshee, he said. I'm just wondering, Joe, since you have a KitchenAid, have you ever used that, like the bowl, the main bowl that comes with it? Have you ever used that to try to mix in seasoning with meat and get protein extraction? I was thinking about that the other day when my wife was doing some cookies. I was watching the paddle mixer go around and around. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
It works.
It's going to be a small batch.
Yeah, it works well. We used to sell some planetary mixers that were huge. I mean, the things weighed like 150 pounds.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah. We could put like 25 pounds of meat in them. It's basically a KitchenAid on steroids. It's huge. And that extracted protein so fast, so well. It was amazing. Okay. If we still have one out of stock in here, because we did at one point, we might have sold it off as a used piece of equipment at some point. But it should work just as well in a KitchenAid. If you want to try, I'll bring my KitchenAid in and try it out.
Just give it a shot, see what it's like.
It is going to be a small batch. You're not going to get more than 5 pounds meat in there, maybe. But
that's it. That's how that little bowl will only hold 5 pounds of meat.
Will inadequately mix. I mean, you can't like
just jam it full.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we can try it.
But if it works anything like the bigger planetary mixers, it'll work well. Just depends on how much you can do at a time.
Okay. Most common size of snack stick, Garrett asks. So, for whatever reason, I'm gonna quick rant here. There's been, in the last couple of years, a push to make snack sticks for home processors smaller and smaller. There's no reason for it, and it bothers me for some unknown reason. But 19 millimeter is perfectly fine. I mean, 21 on a snack stick, you're starting to push it where it's not quite a snack stick anymore. But 19 millimeters is about, I don't have them in here anymore, I just made some 19 millimeters. I mean, it's about this large, which is reasonable. It stuffs easily, it cooks well, they're available in 3-packs. So I would say stick with the 19 millimeter, unless you're a commercial processor, and then it's probably 17 millimeter. What?
I took my hat off for a second, and Joe had to comment, "Whoa, Austin has no hair." Yeah, I'm very much bald.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I would say 19 millimeters is where you should be. In fact, I think I did a Meatgistics University entire video about it. I think. Yeah, I did. Probably shouldn't be looking to you to see if I did something or not. Problems with hot snack stick. The casings are either rubbery or the sticks shrink. Got chewy. I hanged them. So, William, I'm going to guess, I mean, just from that limited information, that we're looking at either a problem with your smoke schedule, your ice bath, if you're doing an ice bath, and if not that, I mean, it could be multiple things. If you want to, under the Walton's community, Meatgistics community on meatgistics.com, go ahead and make a post that has, your full process. Give us as much as you can. We'll try and break it down, figure out what's happening. But generally, when the casings are rubbery, it's, I mean, your two biggest things are going to be your cook schedule, or however you're chilling them or not chilling them.
So Brian Schneider's asking natural sheep casings versus collagen for snack sticks, pros and cons of each. Honestly, I don't hear many people using natural sheep casings for snack sticks anymore. With collagen, collagen kind of changes the game on snack sticks. Unless you have a really good reason to use naturals, I wouldn't use naturals. I just use collagen. They're going to be easier to work with, more uniform, all around. That's what people are going to expect too. You still see a lot of natural casing usage just because it's what people expect is traditional out of a bratwurst at times.
Right.
But on snack sticks, I would stick with collagen.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going even more towards that. A lot of the larger, you know, Tyson type places, I don't think it's Tyson exactly, but that size plants are actually going to something they call extruded collagen. So it's not even in a casing, it's just a liquid that they pour onto it as it comes out of the stuffer. It's really cool to see, but yeah, so I mean, natural casings are going more and more by the wayside. And I'm definitely a fan of collagen over natural casings. They're easier to work with. I don't find that they blow out as much and they require no preparation. The only downside to that is that they don't accept a twist. So just whatever. What am I trying to say? 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Arrowhead, is a 26-pound sausage stuffer too big to make 19mm snack sticks, or should I go with a bigger size like a 23? It's not going to be too big. If you were trying to get down to the 16mm out of a 26-pound stuffer, I would strongly discourage you about trying that. If you want to do as small as a 16mm, you ought to be down at the 7-pound or 11-pound, or you're buying a commercial-grade hydraulic stuffer, vacuum stuffer. 19s, I have no issue with doing 19s on any of our stuffers at all.
Except for the electric, obviously.
Yeah, the electric. That's a different breed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nick said he used his mixing or KitchenAid and it worked fantastically. All right.
5 pounds max. I was right.
Where's 5 pound max? Oh, yeah, there it is. Down from that. Our sausage is always 50% moose, awesome. Or caribou and 50% pork. I always use 15 to 18% cheese. All right, so that'd be right about 2 pounds for a 25-pound batch. Yeah, so that's perfect. That's right where I'd be, Seth. I agree with you. Should be there to complement the meat, but not take over. Ooh, I saw somebody, I missed it, lost it, it jumped to the bottom, but somebody burnt out their kitchen, maybe? Oh, Big John, yeah. Okay, so we don't recommend that you go ahead and mix meat with your KitchenAid. Big John burnt his motor out doing that.
Now I may not be able to just bring mine in and let you try it. I'm gonna have to get my wife's permission first.
That's not gonna happen. There's no way I'd risk my wife's own experiment.
She might be watching. So Jenny, let me know in the comments if I can use your KitchenAid. What size of grinder would you recommend for doing 2 deer and a pig each year? If you're doing more than just a 5 to 25 pound batch, I would definitely be into either the Weston Butcher Series or Pro Series. I wouldn't be using one of the what I call the kitchen style grinders, the number 5, number 8, the more plastic housing models. It's going to depend how fast you want to do it. If you do a whole deer at a time, I would at least get a number 12 Butcher Series. I would strongly recommend getting a number 22. We sell a whole lot more number 22s than anything else. Yeah. Hands down, that is the most popular option for customers. That's my preference as well. It's probably the best performance to price point ratio. Yeah, you can get a 32 in the Butcher Series, even the Pro Series is going to go even faster and better, but you do pay more. But at least at the 22, it's strong enough with a big enough head on the auger, you can still do things fairly quickly, rapidly, and it works well. And
if you're doing an entire pig, the issue you're going to have with one of the kitchen style ones is you need to cool them down every, they can't run for more than 5 minutes. So if you're doing an entire pig, you're going to be there literally all day. And Joe said it as well. Speed is really key when you're grinding. You don't want your meat sitting out at room temperature for long periods of time. So the quicker you can get everything done and moving on, not only is, you know, can you move on to the next thing quicker, but the quality of your meat's going to stay higher. So hot sticks. Making in a smaller smoker about the size of the refrigerator. Yeah, the size of your smoker shouldn't really matter too much. William, have you gone to Meatgistics University yet? We've got, under the cured sausage, we've got the entry level on how to make snack sticks. Now, you're saying hot snack sticks, but I mean, just that's the seasoning or whatever you want to add to it. And then we've also got the advanced, the 206, 207, something like that. That's advanced cured sausage, and that covers snack sticks as well. So that should be fairly detailed. I don't know how much more you need than that. 10 for okay.
Travis is asking if we're hiring. If anybody ever wants to apply, we don't have necessarily any open positions at the moment, but if you go to waltonsinc.com/careers, if you want to apply, you're more than willing to apply. And if your skill set fits something that we need or eventually does someday, we definitely would consider anything. But if that's what you want to do, go to waltonsinc.com/careers. You can find a job app there.
I can say this, it is a great place to work. I mean, he shouldn't or couldn't say this, his last name is on the company, but this is an awesome place to work. We love working here, so.
Yeah, and Joe saying if we open a branch in Walla Walla, he's our guy. You're probably going to have to be in Wichita, Kansas, too. That's going to be the big catch. Do you want to move to Wichita, Kansas?
I came here, listen, I've lived in Dallas, Texas, Houston, Schenectady, New York, Boston, Richmond, Virginia, D.C. I don't know if I've lived anywhere else. I think that's about it. This is my favorite place. I mean, no, there's not a ton to do. Yeah, I see you shaking your head. Our guy off the screen shaking his head. There's not a ton to do here, but the people are so nice. I mean, that makes an enormous difference. If you're just around nice people all the time, you're just in a better mood. Or I am, at least.
So what you're saying is Patrick and I are nice people?
I meant outside of here. I'm surrounded by problem makers while I'm in here. Why can't I find that? Yeah, go ahead. No, crawl. Where is it? Where is it? No,
best cure blend for Canadian style bacon.
That's what I'm looking up. I know I did.
I was going to say, you did that, didn't you?
I did it. Yeah.
I want to say we probably used Country Brown.
Because the Canadian bacon I made was awesome. No, I used Blue Ribbon Maple Cure for bacon. And then, what did I use on the, because I rubbed the outside, I think with the 5-pepper blend.
Yeah, the 5-pepper blend shaker.
That
was really good.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing I did. Here, I'm going to go ahead and send, I'm going to post, what did I just do?
And Jimmy, if you have a problem with it being too salty, let us know. Are you injecting or are you dry rubbing? Being too salty. One, you could have used too much cure, but usually on stuff like that, it comes down to maybe the rinsing part. If you're like dry rubbing and letting it sit and soak for a few days, you have to rinse it before you go to the smoker.
Yes.
Maybe you should rinse it an extra time or an extra 2 times, get some of that extra salt out of there. Rinsing may be the key to fixing that.
Yeah, and there's 2 ways to rinse. I don't know that it makes a huge difference. Some people will set up a lug or a poly pan up in a corner with it in there and water running slowly over it for 20 minutes. Other people will let it sit, empty the water, let it sit, empty the water. If you're going to empty your water more than twice, you're doing about the same thing anyways. But, I mean, letting water run for 20 minutes for some people, I mean, I live in a town that would be fairly expensive.
Jimmy's injecting same as hams. If it's too salty when you're injecting, are you weighing the product before and after injecting, making sure you're hitting the right percentages? Either that or just try using a little bit less injection.
Yeah, you can always do that. I mean, the nice thing about any of this is when you're doing it for yourself at home, you don't have to be so spot on. So if you find that it's a little too salty or not salty enough, you can always add a little bit less or more. For what you're buying at the store, they have exact marks that they have to hit, especially when it's a cured product. I mean, ingoing nitrates is very, very tightly monitored. So
It just can't go over, though. It could be less.
for
Right.
bacon? No, it has to be exactly at, doesn't it?
I think it just can't go over.
No, I thought it had to be exactly
Max
at
parts per million on bacon is like 120.
120
and
for injection and 200 for dry rub.
I think you can go under.
Oh, okay.
I think you can.
If anyone works at like a Hormel or a Tyson, let us know. I'm definitely gonna ask Joe.
If our application specialist was here today, that'd be a good question to
Yeah,
ask him.
that would be
I
good.
don't think he's here. Where is
No,
he?
he's
He's in Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri, yeah.
No, we don't have any problems with vegetarians.
Yeah, Travis is saying it has to be what you put in your food safety plans for HACCP.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be right, for sure. If you have it in your HACCP plan, that's what you have to follow.
So I was right.
Well, I think the question is still.
So I was right.
Could you say
that's just how it goes?
you're doing less?
But no, 18 Arrowhead, I have no problems with vegetarians, vegans. I mean, everyone's just trying to do their own thing. My wife was vegetarian for 6 years, something like that. I mean, we finally got her eating chicken again. But, I mean, everybody just has to make their own decisions, whether it's for health or ethical reasons. I mean, what do I care? The more people who are vegetarian, the lower the price of meat is, so go ahead. Oh, are there any meats you really can't or shouldn't smoke?
I would expand that question and say, is there any food that you can or shouldn't smoke? Because that's kind of the purpose of our Will It Barbecue. We take everything weird and crazy and see, can you smoke it? Meat wise, I don't know. I don't know if there's any meat that I wouldn't smoke.
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. The one I want to get my hands on is some bear. Because I keep hearing things both ways. It's either amazing or it's terrible. But I've never had any. Pudding is nasty smoked. I can say. So John, is that where we grill the vegetarians? Because I might draw the line somewhere. If it was one about grilling vegetarian things, I might do that. But do you want another soda?
Yeah, sure. I'm looking up prices on bear meat right now. John and I have actually looked at this, I want to say almost fairly regularly. It's not like every week, but it's every few months we get this weird, crazy idea, like what can we buy that's off the wall? And so we get on like exotic meat websites and see what prices are. And then when we look at the price, we're like, well, maybe not. So that's where I'm at right now, looking to see what's bear going to cost us. Oh, that's it. There's more up front.
All right.
But
I want to discontinue. No, I got it.
How do you determine the amount of cure needed when making 5 pounds of whole muscle or whole meat jerky marinade? So John, that's a good question. If you look on our Meatgistics website, we've got what we call our seasoning conversion chart and our additives and our cure conversion chart. So on there we break down all our different seasonings and all our cures down to usage per pound of meat and per 5 pounds of meat. Because we find that most people that are making less than 25 pounds at a time can either use that 5 pound increment or a 1 pound increment to calculate what you need. So I would just go on meatgistics.com and let me pull up exactly where that's at. It is under the Walton's Learning Center and the seasoning category. You'll see those 3 charts right there. Just look on there and it breaks it all down for you, real simple, either by ounces or even by like tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, that type of thing. Super simple to do though. Nick, if we get some sort of weird meat like possum, like you're saying, my second concern is the safety of it. If you can guarantee it's going to be safe meat, we might have to take somebody up on some sort of weird meat offer and just have John eat it since he's not here right now. We'll set up something so I'm eating just beef and he's eating whatever else weird there is, but we can come up with something fun there. We ever smoked buffalo wings? If yes, how were they? As soon as John gets back, have him answer that one. I want to say he did something there somewhat recently, but I don't remember. Strangely, with all the different stuff that we end up smoking around here, wings is not one of the ones that we do just all the time. I'm pretty sure we've done it before. It's just been a while since I have. I think John would have done it last. No. That one, are you?
As long as you've had it, I'm gonna try it because I liked it.
Go for it.
Okay.
I think it's left over from a long time ago. I'm having a hard time finding bear meat, to be honest. Is bear meat?
I don't think you
is it
can.
like out of season right now?
No, because even when you're buying like elk meat or anything like that, it's farmed. I want to say.
Your mic's off.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to answer for me there. I want to say it's farmed in New Zealand or something like that, and I don't think they do it with bear. You can't. Somebody can't kill a bear in Wyoming and sell it to us here.
No, but it has to be farm raised. Like
right? I don't think
yesterday
imagine how expensive it would be to feed a bear enough to grow it.
Yeah, people do it. Like yesterday, I was at Dillon's, which is a Kroger brand store. At Kroger, there was like it was a cross between jerky and snack sticks. It was something weird. They were marketing it as like a protein bar, but it was made out of venison. Well, you can't. There we go. I'll take it.
Nice job.
Ooh. So normally, I mean, you can't just go out in Kansas here, shoot a deer, process it, and sell it retail. You have to farm it. So if it's in the store like that, it shouldn't be any different doing it as bear or any other type of normally wild game. If they do it with venison, I mean, they can do it with bear.
I mean, if you have a farm of elk, that's one thing. If you have a farm of bears, a lot of people are going to die. It's going to kill a lot of people. So no, we need to go back to John. He said he smoked gator. It didn't turn out that good. But then he said he smoked raccoon and possum.
Oh yeah, we were talking about possum while you were gone.
Oh, okay. John, I don't know, maybe it is you. On Meatgistics, if you look up gator sausage, there's some awesome information on making sausage out of gator and some cool gator photos too. But yeah, no, I can't imagine eating raccoon or possum. I mean, I would have nothing against eating any type of meat. I mean, I've had crickets, I've had grubs.
Are crickets really meat? Does that count?
They're protein. So maybe not meat, but yeah, no, I mean, I have no problem trying any type of food. So. What is one thing you wouldn't eat? That's a good question. I'm asking a question. Do you have something?
That I wouldn't eat?
Yeah.
Oh,
No. No. We don't need anything from the peanut gallery over there. Do you have a food you wouldn't eat?
celery. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is
What?
I absolutely hate celery. I will not eat celery. I won't do it.
Your sister gets itchy mouth from celery.
Really?
Yeah. It's like she's allergic to it. So I wonder if you have a little bit
Maybe
of
I'm
that going
allergic
on
to it
too.
and I just don't know it.
Huh.
Yeah.
For me, mashed potatoes are absolutely disgusting, and I refuse to enter into this conversation with anybody. And before anyone says anything, my mom made amazing mashed potatoes, according to everyone else. I just think they smell like cheap vodka. And then all forms of mushrooms are nasty too.
Mushrooms? You don't like mushrooms?
Hate them.
Oh. I've been into mushrooms lately. Mushrooms are amazing. Love mushrooms.
Arrowhead 18, bobcat meat is amazing. Who was I listening to? I was listening to a Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan podcast with somebody. They were talking about how good mountain lion meat was. I was very surprised by that, and I'm very surprised by this. But I guess why wouldn't it be? Traps them and gets them. Is there still for Arrowhead, is there still a call or like a market for bobcat skins?
There's a question about wings. I think you probably did wings last. I don't remember the last time I did here. Do you remember if you've done wings recently?
Yeah, somewhat.
How'd you do wings?
Deep fried.
Okay, well, like, I guess smoking. If you smoke wings,
Oh.
how'd you smoke wings?
Yeah, because I did do wings that weren't deep fried here as well. Give me a second. That was a long time ago, though. I mean, no matter how, if you're going to do them smoked without deep frying them, you're never going to get the same texture. You can get the same taste, but it won't have that really satisfying like bite to it. It'd be under recipes. Ah, that's what I did. I sous vide them.
Yeah.
So a really good way to do them, so if you have a sous vide machine or a sous vide whatever cooker, that's a great way to do them. I've got an article on Meatgistics. I'll post a link to it. But a really nice way to do them would be to start them out that way and then finish them up on really high heat, like 500-600 degrees for a couple of minutes aside to make them a little bit crisper. Because that was my main problem with the sous vide wings that we did is sous vide is a great way to cook. I don't think it works particularly great with poultry. What I've done with poultry, it just makes it a little too soggy.
Yeah, the texture's
wrong.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still perfectly safe to eat. So yeah, I would start them sous vide or like in just about 170 degree water, leave them in there in a bag for 2 hours, something like that. Take them out, season them, throw them on, or you probably season them before. Yeah, season them before. And then throw them on a really hot grill for just a couple minutes aside. That should do it. I keep losing. There it is. And then, just so everybody knows, once again, we've got some pretty big changes coming to how we're doing things here. We think, at least, we're staying fairly, I don't know what the word is, fresh? That's a terrible word. We keep trying to change the way we do things so that it's not just boring for you guys to see the same thing all the time. So we're creating an entire new set. This one won't be as small as the change from the corner to this. This is a significantly bigger change. It should give us a lot more versatility so that we can handle a lot of the questions we get from you guys at home a lot better. So we'll be creating a new environment that should, we're hoping, be really good to just expand our ability to do things and make our videos more interesting.
You just told them a whole lot of nothing through that. Like,
I don't want to tell them
something's changing, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it. So you're not going to tell them what's going on. You don't have to.
It's called burying the lead.
Okay,
Keep them interested.
let you go either way. Well, Are we gonna do an unveiling then, maybe? To do like an unveiling
Yeah,
video?
Patrick and I talk about how we are going to do it.
Okay.
We have an entire plan. I'm not saying it's a good plan, but we have a plan.
Perfect.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah. Everything. You can use Paws Black Bull on literally everything. It is my favorite for pulled pork. It's awesome on pulled pork. The best thing I've used it on, though, believe it or not, was, and I definitely made a video on this on Meatgistics, was venison backstrap. I went ahead and injected that with Paws Black Bull and then rubbed wild game seasoning, but you could rub whatever you want on the outside. Let it marinate in a vacuum bag, I think for just 12 hours. Came in and smoked it at like, I think a constant 200, maybe 220, it'd be in the article. Until the internal temperature is like 140 degrees, and it was awesome, absolutely awesome. But yeah, the Paws Black Bull for an injectable marinade, for me, there's nothing else as good to it. Roast beef, it's incredible. So Eye of the Round, it's amazing. You like the, what is it, the butter flavored roast beef pump?
Yeah, unlike pork though.
Okay.
We relabel it on like the website as like butter flavored seasoning and marinade, because the actual name of it is like butter flavored roast beef pump. I think that's so much better on everything pork, but it's good on everything like Paws Black Bull, but I think Paws Black Bull is better on beef.
Yep.
The butter flavored I think is better on pork, but either way.
My buddy and I called his grandmother and asked her how to cook cat. She said, "Why would you want to eat cat? Dog tastes better." Yeah, and I was talking with my wife about this the other day, how it's just odd what's like socially acceptable in some countries, totally against the grain in other ones. I mean, obviously there are plenty of other cultures that eat dog. If someone tried to eat a dog around me, I would not allow that, I guess.
Under what
That'd
circumstance,
be a fight.
though?
No.
Like a general everyday, or like you're surviving?
Oh, if you're surviving, everyone's getting eaten.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone? We're turning to cannibalism.
Yeah, don't get into a live type situation with me, because I'll eat. But no, if it's a life or death thing, yes, I'd eat a dog. But not my dogs. Bobcat skins are hard to get. Ooh, you can't sell them.
Arrowhead says that he's wrong on that one.
Who is?
Jay. Jay's the one that talked about the bobcat skins.
Oh, okay.
You need to flip the other view. I can see more chats at one time.
Yeah, I had it popped out earlier. Oh, there it is.
So other things that are new, we've got changes, video related, coming sooner, probably than later. But we've also got other changes coming further on down the road. Hopefully sometime this summer here, there's going to be a new waltonsinc.com. We're totally rebuilding from the ground up. Going to be pretty cool what we're going to be able to do with it. If anybody has any comments, suggestions, things you want to see, things that we should devote more time on to make waltonsinc.com better for you guys, we're going to put a post out on Meatgistics maybe tomorrow, next day, one of the next couple days here, and leave it as just kind of an open thread for you guys to leave feedback on what would make the shopping experience of waltonsinc.com better. So if there's anything you guys want to see, either leave us a comment now or come visit Meatgistics in a couple days and share your thoughts and feedback on what you want to see available on the site.
Yeah, and we will have a lot more flexibility. So even if it sounds like something that, other than all your products free, no matter how weird it sounds, just go ahead and leave it. We might be able to either use it as a basis for something else, or it could help us out. So Jonathan says that I just got into into making sausage, and your videos have helped tremendously. My liquid fat and salt ratios are right, but they're still a little dry. Any tips? So that hasn't even been shot yet. My guess would be that your pH is low. So pH is, I just did a Meat Hack Monday on that this week. So for anyone across all our social media, Instagram, Facebooks, both the Waltons and the Meatgistics, and Twitter, we try to do something called Meat Hack Monday, where we send out like little helpful tips. pH is one of those things where you kind of have to identify what you're going for first, because pH is going to affect what you end up with. If you're looking for a juicier product, the higher your pH is, the more juicy it'll be. And that's because the higher the pH is, the further apart the muscles or the fibers on the muscle will stretch, and it's going to allow for more water to get down in between them. The problem with that is the higher your pH is, the less shelf stability you'll have. So while it might be juicier, it's going to spoil a lot quicker. So if you're like making a jerky or a snack stick that you want to take camping with you, you need to make that low on the pH, which means it's going to be dry. So yeah, that's definitely one thing I would look at. Cold phosphate is something that you can add to almost anything. Snack sticks is a little bit of a, if you should add it to or not. But yeah, cold phosphate is going to increase your pH, and therefore it'll increase the water holding capacity of your meat. So my recommendations would be either cold phosphate or super bind. Sorry, super bind is a combination of carrot fiber and potato starch. Carrot fiber holds 26 times its weight in water, and potato starch gels at right about the same temperature that meat starts to sweat. So it's going to absorb all that water. That's it.
It looks like we're making a calendar.
Calendar.
We've had a request from Nick to make a calendar like the firefighters have.
Well, it depends on how many of these we can have. Reduce the salt and still keep it ham.
What's that?
I don't know.
Okay. Winemaker Rick.
What is a ham tornado? But if it turned out salty and it's ham, I'm assuming you probably didn't rinse it long enough between the brining and injecting phase and the smoking phase. That's usually what it is for anything ham or bacon.
Making ham turned out, not tornado.
There you go. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, so when you took it out of the brine, you're going to want to rinse it off. I just go longer at that point. I wouldn't adjust your ratios or anything like that, at least initially. So soak it longer in between. Right. So once you take, oh yeah, that's your wife. So yeah, I would take it out of the brine, either run cold water over it. So like what a lot of guys do is they put it in a sink, put it in a meat lug, tilt it up on its corner, and then just slowly run water over it so it's constantly getting fresh water. So yeah, you could definitely do that. Otherwise, whatever container it's in, fill it and empty it at least twice, both times for like 10, 15 minutes. It's a good question. I'm going to guess BJ, FST. I'm going to guess that your problem is your smoke schedule. I mean, generally that's what it is. So if you cook things, if you start too high, you're going to get that. If you start low and just jump up too quickly, you can get some toughness on your casings. But again, just like I told the guy earlier, to really diagnose that, what we'd want you to do is go over to meatgistics.com, post your full smoke schedule, all the processing, what type of casing you used, what seasoning, what meat, what your fat content was. Like, give us as much information as you can. We'll try and identify the problem.
Let's kind of change topics real quick. Kind of a totally random thing here. As far as like the timing on the live streams here, just a quick question to all you guys. What time works best for you guys? Because we've done a few different times, but they've all been like kind of afternoon to late afternoon. We threw around a couple of ideas of what if we did one that was like after the workday. We do it at 7, 8 o'clock at night, or do we do one on Saturday morning at like 10 o'clock? would there be another time you think you guys or any of your friends or buddies would be more apt to get involved on a live stream? Because a lot of people, I mean, we're working here right now,
Right.
but most other people are working as well,
doing something
so they
else,
can't
so.
watch the live streams. So would you guys still watch, those that are watching now, would you still watch if we did it late at night, or if we did one on the weekend on like Saturday or something?
Yeah, and I mean, I live 2 miles from here, and he obviously doesn't care about coming in on the weekends.
I basically live here.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, don't take into a second, like, you know, us. I'd have no problem coming and spending an entire Saturday in here talking, so.
And then go back to doing a 5-hour marathon?
That was a lot. That was a lot. Was that our first one?
That was our first one.
Oh,
yeah.
that was a lot. And I turned the air down to like 62. Do you remember that? I was sitting here shaking. I was so cold.
Do you have a phone number to call with questions, William? Twofold to that answer. I will say yes, we do. However, I would prefer if we can get as much user involvement on Meatgistics as possible, because when you ask a question, 100 other people out there have the same question. So if you post it on Meatgistics, we can respond to it, and everyone else who has that same one gets to see it. So you're helping us out and helping out a whole bunch of other people who are making meat products and doing sausage and jerky making just like you. So I would first suggest that you give Meatgistics a try. Go there and post questions. If you really refuse not to do that and you only want to call in with a question, you're not going to get John or I. We don't do phone.
Which is obviously. I mean.
Yeah. But we do have a customer service department. They've got a great wealth of knowledge as well. They take orders over the phone. They'll help out with info and some simple troubleshooting steps over the phone. Phone number is 800-835-2832. You can find that on our website at waltonsinc.com. Look for the Contact Us page. So if you call in, you can. You're not going to get John or I. But I'd really recommend going to Meatgistics because you're not only going to get an answer directly from John or I, but you're also going to help out a ton of other people out there that I guarantee you has the same question you do. And
beyond that, for a selfish reason for you, is you're also not just going to get one person's answer. I mean, there'll be times where Joe, Parksider, I mean, one of the really big users will respond to your question with something that we might not have even heard of, let alone tried. So, I mean, that's another reason to post it to Meatgistics.
Yeah. And Meatgistics is getting big. We started out and it grew slowly,
Yes.
but we're growing a lot of users every day right now. I want to say there's like 5,000 registered members right now, and there's exponentially more number of people that just get on there to look at stuff.
Yep.
But that's 5,000 people past John or I that's also looking at your question, and if they've got some insight, they're sharing it as well.
Yeah, and you've got, I mean, like you've got Lamore Scrappy, who's a commercial processor, who takes time out of their day at least once a day to go through and try to answer stuff. So, yeah, I have heard of Hookie sausage. I can't remember. Yeah, okay, it's the one that's classically in that real honeycomb pattern. But no, I've never made it. I'm going to go ahead and send an email to our application specialist about it.
Just call your IT department.
No, I refuse to. There we go. If you have one person at your office who's always breaking things or having trouble with technology, that's me.
Dustin just said he signed up for both Facebook pages. If anybody's watching and you don't follow us on social media and you do actively use social media, make sure you check us out. Facebook, we've got 2 pages. We've got Walton's and Meatgistics. We've got Twitter, we've got Instagram. We try to stay as active as we can on them. Like John said earlier, we've got Meat Hack Monday. We have some themes to stuff. We're always putting out content there, as well as Meatgistics and YouTube and everything. If you guys want to stay in touch with us, find us on social media.
That's the best way to
Click
do
the
it.
like, click the follow button.
And specifically, on Instagram, I try to get back to people as quickly as possible, just because it's the easiest one for me at home to flip over from my phone, from my account to that. But yeah, that's generally the easiest way to get to us. If you do have a really important meat question, like something's about to spoil, or you're worried that you really ruined something and you're not sure if it's safe, we created an urgent 911 category in meatgistics.com. So that will send us, both Austin and I will see the email, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. I mean, I know, I want to say Saturday, there was one I got back to within 20 minutes.
What? You beat me on one? I've been getting first on
the only
most
reason
of those.
he's been gotten first is because I hadn't set up my email correctly. I fixed that, and so see, sometimes technology is my friend. So yeah, it's something we set up just to try to be a last ditch before you toss something, or a way so that you don't ruin something. I don't know if you need another one, but I'm getting.
While John's up, a quick plug for another organization out there. I don't know if you probably can't see very well on the koozies we got, but they're koozies from an organization called Pass It On Outdoor Mentors. For most of you guys out there that are involved in what we do with sausage and jerky making, it heavily revolves around wild game. And what revolves around wild game is hunting, fishing, being in the outdoors. The group called Pass It On Outdoor Mentors, it's a group that tries to get young kids outside hunting, fishing, doing things that they wouldn't get to do if this organization wasn't there. And they are just finishing up what they call their Gun a Week raffle. And their next and their new Gun a Week raffle for 2019 starts next week. And it is one of the coolest raffles I've ever been involved in. You spend $50 to get a ticket, or you spend $100 to get 3 tickets. And every week they draw a winner of a gun. And then when they get done drawing 52 winners, one a week for a year, they put everybody that won back in a hat and they draw a second name. So someone out of the whole group gets 2 guns. But for $50 for a ticket, you help get young kids outdoors, hunting, fishing, into the wild game, and hopefully making sausage and jerky like we love, like you guys love. Really cool organization, but it also gets you, the selfish part of it, is a chance to win 52 guns. So if it interests you guys at all, go to outdoormentors.org and donate to them for the Gun a Week raffle. Really cool place. You can read more about them there, and just a fun way to be involved and also get a chance to win some cool stuff.
And if you can get multiple people in your office involved, get the added fun of, as soon as you see your email, you get that 1 second you wait, you're like, is anyone else getting excited? And you're like, all right, well, at least everybody lost. It wasn't just me. Because we've had a good amount of winners here.
I might have won about 2 months ago. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yeah.
What'd you win?
It's a good question.
Oh, the man can't even remember what he won.
I've won twice off of it, actually.
Yeah, well, you won. Andy's won.
I won a
3 times?
A Browning Maxus off of it, which is a very nice shotgun, and it was like over $1,000 shotgun. The last one I won was maybe like a $500-600 12 gauge semi-auto. Nothing super fancy, but
whatever.
Nice gun. Yeah. There's several others in the office that have won, and I know a ton of other people that have won. When they draw 52 winners a year, and you know a lot of the people involved with it, you know a lot of people that win.
Now the only way is through their Facebook page? I think that's the only way I saw it, right? Through Pass It On?
No, they send an email out every week.
No, well,
wait.
For new people?
Oh, for new people?
Yeah. I don't think they have a web page, do they?
They have a web page. I don't think they announce them there. They probably either do it through Facebook or email.
Okay. All right, so Joe said he could use a recipe challenge. What is your go-to dish to impress your friends? The best thing that I probably cook, Thai pork. It's too long of a recipe to go through here, but I'll try maybe this weekend to sit down, write it out, because I just do it. It's pretty spicy, a lot of black pepper, but absolutely delicious. I'll try and post something about it somewhere on Meatristics. Wouldn't be weird if I posted it in like Bragging Board, right?
No, if you post in there, just don't make it salesy. Just post it like you're a community member, and it'll be fine.
Okay. So yeah, I'll try and post that to the Bragging Board or somewhere in there.
Hey, Toby.
6 hogs and 6 deers. If you're doing 6 hogs and 6 deers, the absolute minimum I would go with would be a Pro 22 Weston. And honestly, I mean, I know it's gonna hurt, but if you can step up to, actually no, it's a 12. What would you think about the Pro Cut number 12 for 6 hogs, 6 deer?
It would do it. Honestly, it's a really good high quality grinder, and it's gonna survive it fine. It's gonna eat it up.
It'll chew through it.
The problem is you just have to cut smaller pieces.
Right.
I'd be really torn. It depends. Are you doing one hog or one deer at a time, and they're just spaced out over time? If you were, then I'd probably go with the Pro Cut. But if you're doing 6 hogs and 6 deer,
then
in like a week's time, I would get at least a 22 Pro Series, probably a 32 Pro Series. But if it's like you're doing one at a time, the Pro Cut number 12 would be a very good option.
Either the SS. So the Pro Cut number 12s.
Oh, the Pro Cut number 22. I mean,
well,
that's,
yes, that. But then, okay. So if you're all right with
That's a
spending
beast.
$1,300, that's what I'd tell you to get, is the Pro Cut number 22. If you want to keep it lower than that, then the Pro Cut number 12 FS is $600, and the SS, which is all stainless steel, is $700. Those would be really good, like he said, if you're doing them one at a time. If you're doing them all together, then you need a 22 or larger. And I'd go with either the 22 or 32 Butcher Series or the 22 or 32 Pro Series. So, but yeah, one of these days I'd like to take a Weston 22 and that Pro Cut 22 and see how quickly we could grind 20 pounds of meat. Because the Pro Cut is just gonna
it's going to destroy it.
I know.
It's going to destroy it.
And that's not anything against Weston. We love Weston products, but there is a difference when you're doing something for the home processor versus the commercial guy. So.
There's a lot of home guys that buy those 22 Pro Cuts. It's usually the guys that are teaming up with their buddies and they kind of have a group, or they're just doing a lot of deer. They're doing other people's, doing their buddies' deer. But,
doing a bunch, like Parkside.
Yeah, but if you can get a Pro Cut number 22, I mean, that's for doing anything either at home on the high side or even very small scale from a commercial side. Great grinder. William, on what is your meat schedule for hot sticks? I put a link just below that to our just generic snack sticks recipe. I'm assuming you're asking like the smoking schedule?
It's trying to hide your comment.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird. It doesn't see you as a authorized user.
That's weird because I am the owner on the channel. I don't know. But if you're talking about smoke schedule, I'd follow the same smoke schedule for sticks no matter what kind you're making. And in each case, you can kind of follow the generic recipe we have as kind of the standard and tweak if you want to make something hotter.
And just because I know he was asking earlier about detailed, I don't know which one you gave him, but I'm going to give him the Meatristics University. That's not the one you gave him, right?
No.
Okay. I'm also going to put in there the advanced cured sausage, and that has all the second level, or however you want to look at it, snack stick stuff. And that's also going to include some relative humidity. And for anyone who didn't see it, one of the things in the last, I don't know about how long I've worked here, things that I'm most happy that I did was I took a Magtech, it's a type of thermometer that records a bunch of different stuff. And I created a psychrometer. So what that gave me was the wet bulb and the dry bulb. And from that, I was able to figure out the relative humidity of my smoker. And I used our PK100 that I use for everything. And I was trying a bunch of different ways to increase the relative humidity in the smoker. Because what a lot of you guys are running into when you're having problems is excessive dryness. Yeah, you put a water pan in there, and that's great. It's way better than nothing. Did I not bring you one earlier? I'm a terrible person. It's way better than nothing, but it's not doing a ton for you. It's helping you out, but it's not doing a ton for you. So I was trying to figure out how you could increase that. So I was talking to my wife, who's a chemical engineer. We were talking about some chemicals you could add to it, and none of them were anything you want in or around your food. So started talking, we're talking about increasing the surface area. So we thought maybe a bigger pan. I tried that, helped a little bit, but not much. Then she recommended sponges. I was talking about putting a towel down into it and hanging it up over a rack so it would draw up. So use like a wick material. And that absolutely worked. I mean, I got to 50% relative humidity with that dry wick, but I'm taking up an entire rack of that. I mean, that's space you could use for putting something on or, you know, hang things over. And that wasn't ideal. I mean, I was really impressed with the amount of humidity I got, but it was just too much space. So she thought, what about automotive sponges? So all I did was I put a bowl of water at the bottom. I put 3 really big automotive sponges, and I have them around here somewhere. Can't find them at the moment, but you know, you can see them in the video that we released on it. I got up to just under 50% relative humidity by just putting a water thing and putting automotive sponges in there. It kept drawing the water up, and it's such a porous surface, and it increases the surface area of the water so much. I mean, it was awesome. On that video on YouTube, yeah, the YouTube comments, somebody just left a note about how much it helped them. I mean, it really is something cool that is or should help anyone out. I mean, it's going to increase the speed of your cook. And just think about how much hotter it is out when it's a really humid day versus a dry day. And it's going to give you a juicier finished product just because it'll, you know, have a lot more water in the air. Sorry, I was talking the entire time. I didn't look at comments at all.
That's okay.
No, there's just one.
So, on the humidity thing, I obviously didn't catch the entire conversation there, but what are your thoughts on still trying like hooking a humidifier up to it? Is it worth?
No, my main reasoning against that is because with the PK, I'm not drilling a hole through it. It's not worth it.
So
we could try it with the other one.
Vent on the bottom.
No, but you can't because it's like wherever it's expelling the air from or the humidity from, it's going to be the top. You can't hook something up that then goes S because it's going to hit that, become the water vapor is going to turn into water and go down. So it'd have to be continuously up. So we're either having to raise our smoker or dig a hole to put that. And neither one of those is reasonable. Plus, the sponge thing works incredibly well.
I'm worried about a fire with that.
Why?
I don't know.
There's no, I mean, all right, tomorrow when I come in, first thing I'll do is I'll put the PK back there with a reasonable amount of water in it, and I'll let it run from as soon as we get in to when we leave. You might smoke longer than that. But so if you're smoking 12 hours and you need to have humidity through that entire thing, which you shouldn't, but if you do, refill your water thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt anything. Just open the door real quick, pour a pitcher in there, and close it.
That's true.
William, so your relative humidity, it's a measurement between the difference between your wet bulb and your dry bulb. Well, if you get those two things, you can get your relative humidity. It's the water holding capacity of the air. And it's just going to help you cook faster and give you a juicier product. You want it, in general, you want it as high as you can get after your initial drying phase. So for like smoke sticks or snack sticks, first thing I do is I open the bottom and the top all the way and I don't add any water pan, let it cook for an hour. After that, I close those down, put the humidity in, and basically from there on out, I'm trying to get my water, or my relative humidity up. John, it was Scott McCarthy was the winner.
I was looking it up. I can't remember the name
I
again.
think it was Scott. Was it Matt? No, Scott.
No, Scott McCarthy. I knew it was Scott.
I called him Matt earlier. So.
I shouldn't say where he's from, but you can look.
Yeah, I saw it. All right, well, the questions seem to have pretty much stopped them. I don't have anything left to discuss, do you?
No. I think that's it. I think the biggest question left is when are we doing the next one? Probably give people a little more notice next time, hopefully. We kind of planned this one a little
No, we
later.
planned it early. We notified them late.
Well,
we were thinking about this at the beginning of the month, but we didn't like firm anything up until a little over a week ago or something. Yeah, but maybe we also do that when I'm when I send out the blog post or whatever about changes they'd like to see. Maybe I include something about time of this and how, like, frequency. So.
yeah. We can send out a little poll thing on that too.
Okay.
Actually, I could do that. And our next one might look a little different.
Depending on when it is.
Something might be different about it.
Depending on when it is. Yeah.
Well, I hope, unless we're doing one like next week. I assume we're not doing one next week.
I assume we're not doing one next week. We're not doing one next week.
Okay. Then hopefully things will look different.
Nope. Darn it. Wanted my butcher's knife. I mean, that's a man's knife. Or a woman's knife, if you're
I think we should
really
put that
into
one on
cutting
sale
things.
and like label it as like John's.
I didn't think we could. It's a Victorinox. No.
It depends.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's restrictions. But
We may or may not be able to put this
we
on
can
sale, but
go over
this
the restrictions.
is one of the best looking knives we have, at least.
Oh,
Plus-
hey, Gary's here. He's another one of our regulars on Meatgistics.
Why do I not have? Oh, okay. There it is.
Or is it Jerry? I feel bad. Jerry, if it's Gary or Jerry, I don't know how to pronounce that over typing. If you can let us know.
I'm assuming it's Jerry.
Jerry.
So Jerry is one of the first, no, not one of the first, one that Austin and I talked about really early on that we felt really good about kind of going that extra mile for. So for anyone who's interested, I mean, he listed it there, so I'm sure he's fine with me sharing it. Jerry's blind, and he does things that, I mean, if I was blind, I don't know that I'd try.
He
does not let him stop it. He
amazing
tries
stuff.
a ton of stuff. So he really goes after it, tries new things. And we try to respond to any of his questions, anything like that. I mean, not any quicker, but maybe a tad bit quicker than the normal thing, just because he deserves it. But no, he does great stuff.
Our viewers are dwindling, and our questions are dwindling, so I think we're done.
I think we're done. But so Jerry, I know you just got on. Once we end this, you'll be able to go back to the beginning. Again, congratulations to Scott. Too bad he wasn't here. I agree. I think this upcoming one, if we look at the regulations, if there's a way we can do it, so that could be really fun if we just do this once a month.
Mm-hmm. Or we can always just do a second one just during the live stream if we can't figure out. We'll figure out something. We'll do something so that the people that watch
get an extra benefit.
Something extra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
See you next time.
I think I actually have to go up there and turn it off now. Ugh.